Hey fam, and thanks so much for coming back. It is your favorite life and relationship strategist, MarshaunO. And today I just want to ask you, how committed are you to your relationship? How committed are you to your spouse? How committed are you to not breaking up your family? See, I was reading an article the other day, and it had a section in there where it talked about being totally committed to your spouse, being totally committed to the relationship, and those who have one foot inside the door as well as one foot outside of the door usually are the people that break up the most, that divorce the most, and have an kind of situation to, if it works out, or I said situation, but feeling to as to if the relationship is actually going to work out or not. They're kind of, yeah, I want it to, but if it doesn't, it's not really a must, right? So I'm posing the question to you to ask you, how committed are you to keeping the family together? How committed are you to keeping your relationship together? How committed are you to making sure that your relationship thrives? How committed are you to doing the work to change everything around in your relationship? To stop having so many misunderstandings, so many fights, so many arguments, so many times that you're putting your partner in the silent treatment area, so many times that you're putting your partner on punishment, i.e., the silent treatment area. How committed are you to creating the relationship that you so want, need, and desire? How committed are you to reigniting your relationship by 7X? Shameless plug, that's the name of my book. How committed are you, though? See, a lot of times we want to put the blame on our partners, on our spouses, about why the relationship is not working out. But have you ever taken the time to look inside the mirror, literally look deep within your soul, the windows to your soul, which is right in your eyes, and ask yourself, how committed am I to making sure that this relationship works out? How much work am I actually doing? How much am I actually holding my tongue? Do I always think that everything that I must say and think needs to come out of here? How often do I hold my tongue because every conversation, everything that I think does not need to come out of here? When my spouse messes up, how often am I giving him or her the benefit of the doubt that they didn't really mean to hurt my feelings? How often am I literally the one to say, I'm sorry, even when I didn't do anything wrong, to start the conversation, at the very least to start the conversation? Am I one foot in the door? Am I one foot out of the door? Do I really care if it works out? Because if I don't care if it works out, I'm not going to put in as much work as if it working out is the only option. How committed are you? How committed are you to making sure that your marriage, that your long-term relationship works out? See, I'm not even thinking about the relationships that have some type of abuse or something in it, or molestation, or whatever it is that you can think of that's your worst scenario. Insert that there. I'm not necessarily even talking about those relationships. I'm talking about the ones where your ego, your pride keeps getting in the way. And so if your ego and your pride keeps getting in the way of your relationship thriving, and you don't see anything wrong with that because you're a tit for tat person, or you're a person who going to keep the silence for long periods of time, ruining any chances of intimacy and connection coming into the picture. What does that say about your commitment to making sure that you're actually living a happy, blissful life? And you are adding to making sure that your partner is also living a happy, blissful life. So we all have to take responsibility for us as the person being happy. But your spouse can absolutely add to your happiness. He or she can't make you happy, just like he or she can't make you mad. He or she can't make you angry. We have to start taking responsibility for our own feelings. There is nothing in the world that anybody could do to you to make you pissed off. Yes, I know that terrible acts happen. Absolutely, sure do. But now that's a part of your story. And so now, are you going to live in that story? Are you going to live in that muck? You're going to live in that mire? You're going to stay stuck and be pissed off at everybody that comes near you that looks like the person, any type of reminder of the person that did you dirty, that pissed you off, that can make you angry? So now you're angry at the world. And now everybody that comes through and toward your path is going to feel your wrath, including your spouse, because that baggage is the baggage that you failed to deal with before you got into the relationship. Or maybe you didn't realize that was the baggage that was there until you got into the relationship, and then something triggered you, but now you know it's there. And so that is the thing that you need to start getting rid of. And so how committed are you to getting rid of that thing to make sure that you're in a healthy relationship now? How committed are you to getting rid of that thing that pisses you off, that makes you angry, that trigger? Is it worth going to counseling? Is it worth seeking out a coach? Or are you just like, if this don't work out, it's automatically his fault. This don't work out, automatically her fault. So quick to put the blame on everybody else because you're not willing to deal with your stuff. How committed are you? What does commitment look like for you? Does it mean taking taking divorce off the table? Because taking divorce off the table, let's be clear, it's not for everybody. Because some of these relationships out here really need to be broken up because they're toxic, they're unhealthy. Or you both need to seek counseling. You both need to seek coaching. And because you're not willing to do whatever it takes, including paying the money for the service that you're seeking, because what you're doing by yourself is not helping you. What your spouse is doing by himself is not helping him. What you guys are doing together is not helping each other. You guys do not know how to communicate well. You don't know how to deal with your anger well. You don't know that keeping the silence around the house is very unhealthy. And actually, that's keeping the silence is actually a form of control, but it's also a form of abuse, emotional abuse. Yeah, I'm letting that sink in. Because when you are the person that's doing the silent treatment, that you're the giver of the silent treatment, you don't realize that that's a toxic way to handle your disputes. You don't realize that that's an abusive thing that you're actually doing to your spouse because nobody's ever told you. Well, now you cannot say that you don't know it's abusive behavior because I just told you. We have to take responsibility for our actions. We have to take responsibility for the way that we're showing up. We have to take responsibility for how committed we are to our relationships. The very relationships that we say that we want, the very relationships that we say that we need, the very relationships that we really, really seek and are really trying to hold on to. We're fascinated by relationships, but we're not willing to put in the work that it takes to create that fascinating relationship. The relationship that you long for, the relationship that is always seems just out of reach. But the people that actually experience the type of relationship that you are seeking, they all did the work. They all did the work. Now, some people look at it not as being work. It's a lot easier for some people to get from point A to point B. But maybe that's not your story. And it's not the story of the majority of people that I know. We didn't get the information from our parents. But guess what? There are other people out here who can now help you get the information that you need. And so are you committed enough to seek the information, actually get the information, get the help that you need so you can actually experience the life that you want to experience the relationship that you want to experience, being happy all the time, being super, super happy to open up the door, meaning coming home. You're not sitting in your car. You're not going to the bar for hours on end because you don't want to come home. You're not automatically going to hang out with your friends just to get away from your spouse, not realizing that you are a part of the problem. Because you're running away, that doesn't help the issue when you get back home. That same issue that you're running away from is still there when you get there. So why don't we just deal with these issues, with these problems? Most of us would rather blame others about why we are not where we want to be in life, in love, in finances, physically. You are the only person that can control your commitment level to your relationship. And that includes the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your partner or spouse, the relationship with your kids, the relationship with your coworkers, all relationships. We have to start taking responsibility for the commitment that we have to them. Specifically, your romantic relationship. How committed are you to making sure that your relationship is just as great as you have dreamed it to be? And everybody's thoughts, everybody's dream relationship looks a tidbit different. And that's okay. But how committed are you to making sure that you get that relationship? 1 foot in, 1 foot out says that you're not committed. Teetering on the line, having a placeholder, not giving the person that you're with a full chance because you haven't really chosen him. You haven't really chosen her. So why are you still there? Why are you on this rocky boat, swinging back and forth, just swaying? You're just swaying back and forth. Today I'm in, tomorrow I'm not. Today I'm in, tomorrow I'm not. I don't need him, I want him. I don't need her, I want her. Make a decision. You want to be there? Be there. But be there all the way. Make a decision. If the relationship is not for you, walk away. Make a decision. If the relationship is for you, get off the line. Make a decision. Only you can decide what your relationship will absolutely be. Only you can decide that.